In the night, when darkness consumes the world and ordinary sounds fade away, the doors to a dark and forbidden world swing open. Many do not believe in it, but those who have once entered this world know its horrors, know that the most terrifying thing is what lurks in the darkness. So it was with me when I took a job on the night shift at an ancient factory producing metal structures. The factory was located in a remote corner of the city where shadows dominated even in the brightest day. It seemed that the surrounding area was permeated with something sinister, and even the air was filled with an unfamiliar, unsettling breath. My first day at work felt like an initiation into the secrets of this place. I was led through halls where echoes of metallic knocks and whispers of wind sounded, and finally I stood before a door, beyond which began my descent into darkness. Inside the factory, a gloomy atmosphere prevailed. Every step through the corridors gave the feeling that someone was watching me from the darkness. The factory was large, and it seemed that abysses, beyond human understanding, were hidden within it. My task was to monitor the equipment, but the longer I worked, the more I realized that something was wrong. Machines sometimes started working on their own, emitting eerie creaks and hums, as if some ancient entity dwelled within them. One night, as I patrolled the corridors, I heard strange noises coming from one of the rooms. I approached, and my heart froze with horror. In the room, something was moving in the darkness, something unknown, a cloud of darkness that consumed the light. I recoiled, almost falling from fright. Through the darkness, I discerned the outlines of something that couldn't belong to this world. It floated in the air, enveloping everything around it, as if trying to absorb all reality into itself. That night, I first felt that the factory had a life of its own, that it breathed and that its soul was permeated with dark forces. I tried to forget the incident, but the shadow of that moment followed me, like the shadow of death itself. With each passing night, the fears became more real. I saw ghosts in the reflection of metallic surfaces, heard whispers of the wind carrying inhuman words, and felt that somewhere in the darkness, eyes were watching me, eyes that couldn't belong to anything alive. One night, as I patrolled the factory, I heard cries in the distance. I ran towards the sound and found my colleague trapped in a machine. He screamed and begged for help, but his voice was drowned out by the noise of the mechanisms. I tried to free him, but the machine seemed to come to life, its iron limbs grabbing him tighter and tighter and tighter, as if trying to devour him whole. I screamed, begged for help, but no one came to his aid. And eventually, the darkness swallowed him whole, as if he had never existed. This event became a cornerstone in my understanding of what was happening at the factory. I realized that there was something much more sinister here than I had imagined. Something that permeated the very essence of this place, something that made it breathe and live. I tried to leave, but the darkness of this place had already become a part of me. It seeped into my dreams, filled my thoughts, became my inseparable companion. I understood that there was no escaping this place, that it had become my dark sentence. And now, every night when I enter the factory, I know that terrifying secrets await me, that darkness and abyss await me. But I continue to walk, continue to labor, knowing that there is no salvation in this world, only endless horror calling me into its embrace.